What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning. This is your boy Q. As you can see, we're getting everything set up at this moment.
Look, are we live?
Yeah, Miss
Are we live?
Miss Sunshine done.
Pop my head up in there.
Theme of the music today is Neo Soul. Neo Soul music. Yeah, Miss Sunshine come in, schooling on up. As you can see, Mo is late as normal. But we love Mo anyway.
Oh. Before we even hold up, good morning. I gotta make sure we get on a do not disturb level because people be disturbing and do not disturb. Good morning.
More friend requests. I mean, who are all these people? Oh, it's almost time for us to go in. Hey, everybody.
No,
Hey, what's going on?
Good.
What's going on, everybody?
she just turned it down a bit.
You got it?
Nope. I'm caught on the wheel.
You ready? Cool.
Yep.
All right.
That's my leg. Look, Reggie
What's
catching
wrong?
feels. What?
What is wrong?
Woo!
What is wrong?
Woo! Woo! It was my leg though. It wasn't-
You okay? That better?
Yeah, I'm all right.
1 minute left. All
All
right.
right.
That better?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
the fan going. I know it ain't gonna blow on high, but at least it's
but
going
you know.
behind y'all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can
Yeah.
get this. Mo is trying to park now. All right, Mo is parking. That's all right, Mo. We good.
This mic getting a little friendly with me.
Oh wow! You know what? What is going on with you?
Nothing.
I'm glad I'm in a raw mood today because I might just cut up like we just
Stand by.
Standing by.
Stand by.
Standing by. Oh, I hadn't even turned this phone on.
Man, how was he buzzing?
That was mine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live. Yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Master Gas Talk Radio Show.
How about
This
that
is
for a
your
sound
boy
effect?
Q, and I am here with the MTG crew, starting with our wonderful and divine Miss Sunshine. How you doing, Miss Sunshine?
I'm good.
You good, Miss
Good.
Sunshine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What you drinking now?
Just a little Celsius. Just a little cola. No alcohol. I had enough of that yesterday. Still got a little bit of a headache.
So you drank yourself to a hangover?
I sure did.
Wow, good
Sure
job.
did.
I mean, that's wonderful. I don't want to drink myself to a
I don't
hangover.
do that
but-
often, but when I do,
Well,
My boy Hendrix is with me here at this time. Our Lupus Warrior. What's up, bro?
what's up, y'all? Everybody good?
How you doing, bro? You alright?
I'm making it. We did a little too much out there last Saturday.
Man, listen. If you guys didn't catch the footage of the Lupus Walk, it was fun, funny. My boy Hendrix was doing some jams out there. He had a little Nala going on, little old school mix. We was having a good time. He pushed all the way through the walk, and it was unfortunate to see that some of the Warriors were not able to finish the walk, but some did finish.
Yes.
And it was good to see their teams around them and rallying around them. I just want to give them a huge round of applause, man, because I just think that, good job, guys. I'm inspired. I have on my Lupus bracelet today. I was inspired, to do it again next year and, continue to bring more awareness to lupus. I had no idea how low people were bringing the awareness for lupus. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
We
kudos to them.
Yeah, we did a good job on the fundraiser though. So we ended up raising $103,000.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
$103,000. That's good,
And that's
bro.
just from DFW.
Wow.
So that's just from DFW. So yeah, it was.
That'll work, man. I'm so happy to hear that, man. It was a joy for me to be out there. And so, we can't wait to do it again next year. Can't wait to do it again next year. Let's go ahead. Mo is on her way, everybody. Y'all know Mo is trying to park at this moment. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on with the show. Topic of conversation today is MTG Sophisticated Convos. And so I decided to go ahead and start naming our segments instead of calling them the first segment, second segment, and so forth and so forth. So the first, first segment is called Politics and Sophistication. Yeah. Politics and sophistication. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. DeSoto ISD considers cutting 250 jobs and closes an elementary school. Let's talk about that.
Like our children don't suffer enough.
Liz, I was reading an article last night. DeSoto ISD. You know, you guys send them some love. They're going to be voting on this coming Monday. I believe to cut probably over 200 teaching jobs, and the middle school band programs have already been eliminated.
Oh, wow.
So I am, as a band student, former band student, that cut me to the core, because I was first introduced into band my 6th grade year, and fifth grade year. And then when I got into 7th grade, T.W. Brown, we had Mr. Rodney Cooksey that was there. Shout out to Mr. Cooksey. You know, he was a great band director, man. I mean, he made us fall in love with our horns, you know, and that was a different way to express ourselves, you know, musically.
Music is powerful in itself.
Absolutely.
And I really, honestly, I feel like we've done wrong by our children, cutting out physical education. You know, nobody gets recess but, 15 minutes a day while they're in school anymore. Right. Now you want to cut music out. You wonder why these kids are out here acting a fool, doing all these things, because we keep cutting very important activities from their lives.
Absolutely.
Because it's not important. They don't need it. No, they need that creativity, that drive, that powerful voice of expression.
Right. They need that expression.
They need it.
And then not only do they need the expression, they need the diversity. The diversity of education is so lacking right now. They don't have a lot of, the chop shop classes, that teach children how to build and how to know what the difference between a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver.
They are now creating just trade schools.
Trade schools.
So, for those who, I guess, don't feel inspired enough to go to college, or, maybe college isn't for them, which, more power to y'all, they have created, I don't know if it's Grand Prairie or Arlington, a trade school. And that is specifically what they teach.
Right.
Howsoever, we still need these programs. We still need music.
We need music.
Look through the history of music. Look,
we need
I
music.
can't even.
And then and I also look at it like this. I want to piggyback off of something you were saying. I think a lot of our musical geniuses, like Ray Charles, for example, started when he was a little boy.
Oh, go way back. Dizzy Gillespie.
Absolutely. And all of these children, Tina Turner started singing at a very young age. All of these legends, that helped shape music as a whole, it's horrible, because now that these children, they're going to have to rely on not only their parents to continue to fuel, their passion, which is good, but it also maybe gives them an opportunity to look at different kinds of music, because growing up, where we grew up, it wasn't that we went to Allstate a few times, to understand that music was so much more, and so but you don't get that until you get that at home. I just hate that when I said DeSoto High School has one of the best athletic programs. Now their band is not marching style band, they have concert style band, but they have known to be one of the best marching bands, always scoring high in UIL, competitions. Their angles were perfect, their circles, everything was perfect. Right. And to see them go through such a financial crisis like that, man, to cut the band,
Yeah,
Man, that was.
and what's horrible is people don't understand the correlation between music and critical thinking skills.
Right.
There is a strong correlation between learning and understanding music to critical thinking skills, especially once you learn how to compose music and produce it and take something that's in your head and put it on paper. When you're going through that process,
Right.
it helps with your critical thinking skills, which is only going to help you as an adult.
Right. Right.
As is athletics,
Right.
teaching discipline
Mm-hmm.
and teamwork,
Right.
as well as look. Right now, I can't even think of what it is I'm trying to say, but I can see it.
Where's your tablet?
Learning.
You need your
Look,
tablet. You need your tablet.
I left it at home.
Lord.
Basically, following directions, following orders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like military is for some adults.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of programs, you know, that we had growing up, you know, that's being cut at this moment. You know, you can tell the difference between the generations.
Right.
You can tell the difference because I'm not saying this is for every person that was born after 1989, for example. I'm saying that a lot of the hard work had been done already,
Right.
you know, and so when as we grow older and as technology advances, the more natural or hands-on things in life become more obsolete because we have a technological fix.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, like get out there and cut the yard. Now we got rowing mowers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You
Right.
know, but when you were little, you had, you know, growing up, you had to get out there with your uncles and cut those yards and all of that stuff, you know, that you learn how to do.
Look,
as
while you
kids.
tripping, I was edging my yard the other day, and I was like, I remember when I used to have to edge it with a little push edge.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know the shears.
Yeah.
Now you got the, you know,
Right.
the shears, you know.
Look,
and-
I have both, and the shears work better. The loppers work better. I'm just saying.
the thing is that people do not understand that people that create these devices, and you know, you have all this creativity. It comes from a well-rounded education,
Mhm.
Right.
and there's so much focus on in the classroom. They forget you're training these kids to be robots. You think one way, you do this, you do that. That's great, but again, you have to evolve. As a species, you have to evolve, and
Yeah.
evolution takes well-rounded exposure.
Let me just tap on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about needing exposure, and they are creating robots by removing all of this creativity, creative learning processes from us. When you create robots, you create obedience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Slavery 101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For I don't know how many years now, I have said we are running a country of indentured slaveries.
Indentured
Indentured
slaveries.
slaves.
Yeah.
Indentured slaves. Because
Wow.
we are spending way more time working to live instead of living to work. How many people can honestly say out there that they enjoy what they do? How many people go home at the end of the day and are just fed up? Because I know I'm one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you know, you so tired. You shouldn't be like that. You should find joy in the work that you do.
Wow.
But they want robots because they want people they can control.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. I mean, you know, now of course, you know, there's always a systematic approach to a lot of things, but I think that is definitely something
Because at
to
the end
look
of the
at.
day, it's paper over people.
Paper over people. Let's change the subject real quick. I was kind of waiting for Mo to get in here. You know, I'm glad we were talking about this or whatever, because I think she went to the meeting.
Right.
But she's not here, so let's move on. Maybe she can touch on it when she get up here.
Right.
All right. So next subject, I believe, was Biden.
Yeah.
Announced his presidency for 2020. And in your opinion, who is looking good to you in the Democratic Party? Now, I'm going to let y'all start off because y'all already know where I'm at. I'm Joe Biden all the way.
Right.
I'm Joe Biden all the way. I don't care what nobody says, I'm Joe Biden all the way.
Well, to me, I think Joe Biden would be a good fit. I like the fact that he addressed a lot of his quote-unquote skeletons in the closet before he announced his election run. However,
Not very eloquently.
yeah, not true. But however, that's the thing about Biden that a lot of people do like.
Right.
He's raw.
Right.
A lot of people like that fact. He's not polished. He's a little rough around the edges. And even when Obama was in office and he was the vice president, everybody would be joking about how he kind of the thug of the duo.
Right.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
And Obama was always like, all right, simmer down.
yeah,
simmer
calm down, Joe, calm down. So I mean, if you look at it like that, he's a little raw. Now he's a good fit. I think Bernie Sanders is a good fit, and then I think Kamala Harris is a good fit as well. However, with Kamala Harris, her background as a DA leaves a lot to be questioned. But at the same time, you have to look at the evolution of a person.
Right.
And so she has evolved as a person, and it's like, okay, some of the things I did in the past weren't the best. She's tried to rectify some of those wrongs.
But that's everybody, because
Right.
everybody's got a job to do. Everybody has someone, for the
Over
most
them.
part, to answer to.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
So I'm at the point where I love Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I love Joe. I think he is a very honest and sincere, caring person. But I think anybody, and like he said, anybody but, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, if you don't vote for me, just vote for anybody but
Right.
Mr. Young and Vigor, Vibrant. I'm like, what the hell, really? Because you sound like you need to be in an old folks' home,
And
Mr. Orange Tower.
Orange Tower.
And-
I don't know.
And the thing about Biden is Biden will get a lot of those swing voters.
Yeah.
And he can get a lot of voters that would probably not necessarily usually vote Democratic, but usually vote Republican. He could get a lot of those that are kind of in the middle that don't want to vote for Trump. So that's where he has a leg up right there, because he's kind of middle of the road, and a lot of people will be turned off by Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris.
Did you see Joe Biden's his promotional commercial, his very first, his coming out commercial? Okay, so I'm gonna describe it, but I want y'all to YouTube it, and also we're gonna put it on our Facebook page because I want you guys to see it. Basically, he went for the jugular. And he wasn't going for the jugular in a bad way. What he did was he took various clips, like for example, Martin Luther King.
Right.
And he took clips from
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, and all different various things that's going on. How the white supremacists are now boldly coming out, and he put those clips together, and he was like, you know what? Basically, if you tired of this, vote for me.
Right.
So. It was on The View, and I'm gonna watch it because I'm actually starting to kind of like The View a little bit.
And the show?
The View. Oh yeah.
Look, I was gonna say, because they kind of went hard on Biden.
But see,
They
they
did
need
not.
to.
They did not.
Because I'm with
It
Whoopi
was all
Goldberg.
hugs and kisses, but you know what? At the end of the day, Meghan McCain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, her reception for him spoke volumes to me.
Well,
I know he had a great respect for her father.
Yeah.
And even being on opposing sides, they had a really symbiotic relationship, I guess.
It's good to have
Good
opposing
word to
sides.
say,
They
symbiotic. Work together. They work well together.
I kind of think of Mo as the Republican of the group.
Mm.
Now we know she's not a Republican,
Right.
but she's like the Republican of the group. She disagrees with everything.
And everybody.
So who else you guys think are good candidates? I'll tell y'all who caught my eye unexpectedly.
One, if you talk about unexpectedly caught my eye, is Buttigieg, Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
He caught. It was like, okay, because just seeing what he's done for his community and his state is kind of like amazing. So he took them from being in the red to in the black to where they're actually profitable as a mayoral district. And so it's like, whoa. So he's done some things on a small scale, and if he could apply them to a larger scale, I think he would be, he'd be a good fit. Now, president, I don't know if America's quite ready for that, to have a president that's outwardly gay. However, I think he would be a good vice president to get his feet wet and to learn the background and come up kind of like Biden did.
Right.
Yeah.
Make a name for himself, kind of
Yeah.
second in command, and then let everybody see what he can actually do, and then run for president. Right now, I don't just but I feel the same way about Kamala Harris, and it was Elizabeth Warren. I don't think that.
I think Elizabeth Warren's intro has kind of fallen back.
Right. And again, she has some stuff in her background that kind of make people question her. Again, being second in command, getting your name out there would be a better role for them. Not saying that women are second class or anything like that. I just think
I feel you.
As you evolve and go to the top ranks, I think starting out, because they have great ideas, they have great drive, they have a lot of supporters.
Mm-hmm.
However, right now, I think the main goal is to, number one, get Trump out of office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And there should be a unified front from the Democratic Party if that's what's really
emphasis on unified.
right.
Well, so far they've been pretty unified.
Oh,
actually.
it'll get ugly towards the
Oh yeah,
end.
it's gonna get.
This is another reason why I'm really not
Right.
one to just say this is who I'm.
Right.
Because I'm like, yeah, I need to wait and see.
Yeah.
I need to
and
wait
you-
and see.
For me, I agree with you 100%. Who caught my attention on accident was Elizabeth Warren. She on accident. And on accident. Because what I took a look at, Elizabeth Warren is kind of, she's way down in the polls as a collective. Now since Joe Biden has entered the race, he is first.
He was number 2 before he even entered.
Yeah. So he's first on the list.
Right.
That now that he's officially entered. But Elizabeth Warren caught me when she started talking about the student debt,
Mm-hmm.
on how every household that doesn't make, I believe, $50,000 or something like $50,000 to $65,000, that she will eliminate all of their student debt.
Actually, it's for households that if you're making less than $150,000.
Guess what it is? Yeah,
$150,000.
Yeah.
If your income is less than $150,000, she will wipe away student debt. That is amazing.
That's
huge.
Because
huge.
that's huge. Because you look at it and you can. I mean, people think that you're making $150,000. Honestly, once taxes hit you,
Once taxes
hit you,
living expenses.
yes. So from anywhere from about 80,000 to like 115, your disposable income is about the same. It might vary about $5 or $10.
Which is why I keep saying people who make $15 or less, I don't know how they live.
Me neither.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I make well over that, and
And the
Yeah.
struggle still real.
still
The struggle
struggle.
still real.
Because they want to take out for insurance, and then you got, all your insurances,
Right.
shoot. That's it.
And the thing about that is that that would free up $1.3 trillion.
Right.
That would fix a lot of people's credit.
Mm-hmm.
That would wipe away and eliminate a whole plethora of things, and we can take that money and apply it to like education funding,
Yes.
and going towards the dream of having free college.
Right.
That kind of stuff. I look at stuff like that, and I look at us tackling our nationwide homeless problem.
Right.
A lot of that stuff, and then let's get some. I'm like Whoopi Goldberg. Let's get some of the money from these corporations and say, hey, look, if you want to pay this low percentage on your taxes, and
I need you invest into
I
the
need you
communities.
to absolutely. The Community Reinvestment Act is really mainly pushed towards financial institutions, but we need to apply that to every billion-dollar business that's
Yes.
out there to reinvest into the community, to grow our community.
Because again, paper over people, it's just not cool.
And that's
Right.
why everybody's mad at Elizabeth Warren because of her tax. They say her tax plan is crazy, but she's only adding a 2-cent tax to everything above 150 million.
What?
It's only
That's all?
That's it. Two cents per dollar. That's what she's adding.
Look, I'm so over it.
And it's
So
like,
over
really?
it.
You don't want to give up 2 cents? You got all this money and you can't give up.
But yet, whenever you need help, you're going to be kicking and screaming and crying because nobody wants to help you. You can't help yourself and not help others.
Right.
At some point in time, everybody's got to give back.
Right.
Right.
And that includes the corporations that are so fucking greedy. Pardon me, but this is an issue I have. When you have CEOs that are making 300 times what their top employees are paid,
With their lowest
But-
employees.
No, I mean, like, they may have a,
May I borrow that for a moment?
what do you want?
The
Napkin?
no.
What?
No.
I don't know that.
Thank you, Reggie. Appreciate it.
Look, for those of y'all on the air and not watching this on video, I apologize.
I mean, because
for
that's the
that.
only way I can see it. I'm just sitting there really doing that,
Yeah.
trying to keep up the time.
But no, it's seriously, until we stop putting money over people, we really are never going to accomplish anything as a nation, as a people.
Right. I agree.
Yep.
I agree 100%. Let's go to the next subject real quick. We still got plenty of time in the segment, and let's go ahead and let's see what we got. Let's see here. Now, a Pennsylvania judge was sentenced to 28 years in prison in connection to a bribery scandal that railed the state's juvenile justice system. Former, I guess this is Lucerne County Judge Mark, I guess this is Varela Jr. Was convicted that dude was convicted of taking $1 million in bribes from developers of juvenile detention centers. The judge then presided over cases that would send juveniles to those same centers. The case came to be known as Kids for Cash. He only received 28 years. He was tried and convicted of racketeering charges. So they dropped the charge. They reduced the charges to racketeering.
And how many of those children were of color?
All of them, because it says here, according to the article, that all the children that he sold were black.
Sold, slaves, bitches.
So this is
Y'all,
this.
don't mess with
When
me.
I read this, I was pissed off.
Absolutely.
As you
Oh, I
should
was
be.
so mad. I was like, man, get that off
Every
my damn
person
phone.
should be. Every person should be.
You only get 28 years for this?
You fucked up a whole lot of people's lives
Mm-hmm.
You
For
gonna get
money.
28 years for this?
for money.
Yep.
You only get 28 years for this?
And this is why this justice system is just that, just us.
Just us.
Mm-hmm.
You only get 28 years for this? That was my whole question. I was like, that's all he got?
Yeah.
28 years?
And here's the thing. On top of the 28 years, guess what? He's going to Fed. He's not going to county jail or state jail. He's going to the Fed. So, you know, it's going to be laid back and relaxed for him.
You only get 28 years for this? That's what bro, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, because my thing is, you know, we're gonna talk about, you know, James Byrd a little bit in the show. I want you guys to stay tuned, because we're gonna definitely dig into James Byrd, the second execution in his murder, which the third guy is spending life in prison, which he will not get the death penalty, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But my thing is that you took the lives of these young men and you threw them into the juvenile system.
Before they even had a chance to live.
Right.
Before they even had a chance to live.
I mean, just threw them into the jail system like dogs. And then you get to go chill out for 28 years and pay a fine that you can pay with writing a check with your left hand pinky. And you get 28 years. My thing is, if you got $1 million, you need 1 million licks across your ass. Every goddamn day.
And every person that you sent to the juvenile detention center, that's where the money needs to go. That's where you need to be writing them goddamn checks.
And every person that he put behind bars, let them be the ones giving him the goddamn licks. We talking about punishment. If you want somebody to learn their lesson, you get their ass the right way one time.
And that's
all it takes.
This is where money separates the justice system, because if you can afford the lawyers to do the research, you can get off. You can make deals like this. And it's sad, but that's the reality we live in. And one of the things that I really need people to understand is that you cannot change the system from outside the system. You have to get in. This is why there's such need for diversity in education.
Yeah.
Because you need lawyers, you need doctors, you need judges, you need people, you need police. You have to have all these people intertwined in the system to make the changes. So, I mean, it's a horrible, horrible thing, but like we have to change it, and we are the ones that are going to change it.
Man, that pissed me off so bad. Oh my God, that pissed me off.
I'd like to see him go to state. I'd like to see him go to state prison.
He needs to go to in Pennsylvania. Got some of the most horrible prisons.
Exactly.
He needs to go to state prison.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He needs to go to state prison and be in Gen Pop.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? He will get exposed.
Absolutely gonna get exposed.
Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Look, I read that yesterday, and that is something, again, when we take paper over people, that takes away the value of humanity.
Absolutely.
And if you do not value humanity, this world will forever be at odds.
And that goes back to having a well-rounded education, not only just in the books, but this goes to exposure as well for your children.
Exactly.
Because this is what helps you understand. Like, how many people go and volunteer during the holidays? That's great and fine. That's beautiful. But when your kids are out, spring break, summer break, take them to volunteer.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Your local food bank.
Yes,
hell,
exactly.
Pick up trash off the side of the road. That's another thing that just kills me. If you would look at the island of trash that floats in our oceans, you might not want to be eating fish. Hell, if you had to, if you had to gut some of these fish, you would find the plastic bottles that y'all throw away up inside of them because they don't know no better.
Miss Sunshine, we gonna eat catfish.
I'm still gonna eat fish. I'm not gonna stop. But I'm just saying, people are so close-minded to everything what we do because we think, this just affects me.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that everything we do has a ripple effect.
Right.
Everything you do has a ripple effect. Period.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this real quick because we see break time. We got 7 minutes actually.
Okay.
So we doing pretty good because Mo, it's the Mo show. So we gonna introduce her when she come in.
Yeah.
It's always the Mo show with her. Yeah. This heifer act like she don't have nothing to do. You see, and then she don't look like she done got her hair boxed up or cut up or something like that, or back over in that bag. And then she's sitting over there. That's that shirt she wore. Was that the first shirt that she wore for our first show?
I don't know.
That is that first shirt. She took it back to the old school. Now I want you to get some lotion and put on them arms so you come in here and get on that camera. And you come up in here with no ashy tail arms. Okay, so real quick. I want y'all. Bernie Mac did something. He made several of them had town hall meetings.
Bernie Sanders.
But a lot of them did. Like there was like 6 of candidates had different town hall meetings. But Bernie Sanders.
I was like, you said Bernie Mac.
Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders.
Like,
not Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Mac may be on my mind, but we talking about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, he proposed this, and I want to know what y'all thoughts is on this. He proposed that prisoners, people who are serving time, I can't really differentiate if he was talking about no matter what they did, if they were low-level crimes, whatever.
It was no matter what their crimes.
No matter what their crimes were, should they have the right to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, because if you can use those same prisoners to inflate your population, then they should be able to vote. Otherwise, you need to remove them from your population so that you can't do all this gerrymandering bullshit that y'all do.
And that's what Republicans do not want. They want to count the heads for districting, but then they do not want to allow those same people to vote.
Amen.
So if you're going to count them for your districts, then they should be able to vote. So it's not one or the other. And I'm okay with either one. If you're not going to allow them to vote, you can't use the head count for your population. If you're going to use the head count for the population, then you need to allow them to vote.
So
Yep.
in other
Yep.
words,
Yep.
in other words, if you are a person that was in prison and you were counted as a part of the population, especially in the private prison sector,
And
that
then-
means that you should be able to vote if
In the
they're
corporate
making
prison system is
money
what we need to be
on
doing.
you.
Corporate prison
And here's-
system.
Here's the thing. Where are most prisons located? Most prisons are located in rural areas.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep, yep, yep.
And
Rural
if you
areas.
have that head count with only a certain percentage of the population being able to vote,
Mhm.
they always fall in Republican hands. And this is why Republicans are so against it.
You know,
Educate yourself, y'all.
maybe I have to look this
Educate.
up real quick. I can't remember what the exact number is,
Mhm.
but how many prisons are in Huntsville? What is it, 30 something?
It's like 36, I believe.
I think it's 36 prisons
Yeah.
roughly in Huntsville, Texas,
Mhm.
which is only about a 2-hour drive going south on 45, 71 miles from Houston, Texas. You got about 36 prisons in that small city, and the population is what, about 40,000 people
Right.
there? You know, and I was,
Actually,
how many is
it
it?
says 7.
In Huntsville?
Howsomever, it says with more than 13,000 inmates.
So retract. 7 prisons in Huntsville with over 13,000 inmates.
Howsomever,
Howsomever.
that was only updated as of 2015.
Mm.
Okay, so they don't have any more like. Well, I mean, I'm sure they haven't built any more prisons, so I'm sure we can go with 7 prisons. You know, 7 prisons in Huntsville, about roughly 13,000 plus because it was 2015, so I'm sure it's more than that now. So you think about all of those people, the actual statistical data that we could receive to come out of that place for those people to vote. That means that they will have to be able to keep up with the politics. That means that they would have to be able to really, really, you know, create an atmosphere of camaraderie to say, this is who I want as my president. Because as a prisoner, you're not supposed to have, you know, you belong to them. So you're not supposed to have any kind of rights. But to me, was it the 14th Amendment? Is it the 14th Amendment?
The 13th, you mean?
Well, I think it was the 14th Amendment or something like that. Look it up for me. Well, they were talking about how it messes with the 14th Amendment of prisoners, or whatever the case it is. And so I was like, wow, that was interesting. If you make money off of them, let them vote.
Right.
You know, that's just how I'm thinking with it, you know, because, again, it'll change the dynamic of a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, it'll quickly turn Texas from a red state to a blue state.
Man, who you telling?
Because if you look at the demographics of the people that are locked up, and I can't speak for other states, I'm just speaking for the state of
Right.
Texas.
This is exactly it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah. The
From-
fourth.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Just go ahead. No,
Well,
I'm
the
with you. Go ahead.
demographics of the people that are locked up are mostly black and brown people.
Right.
And, you know,
This is what it says. The 14th Amendment is a very important amendment that defines what it means to be a U.S. citizen and protect certain rights of the people. So it says it violates that 14th Amendment right, because if you are a born citizen of this country, and if it is naturalized in this country, then that means that it messes with your 14th Amendment right. Now, again, it says a U.S. citizen, I guess, but the amendment is not clear if you have to be a good citizen. And so, you know, people got to look at stuff like that. I think it's break time.
Yeah.
And Miss Sunshine, I believe you're doing our breaks today.
I am.
You are doing our breaks today, Miss
Look,
Sunshine.
what's our break then? Because Miss Sunshine is.
It's right here in front of you, darling. We
It's
got
not.
Oh,
So we're gonna open it up with X by Kiani Lede.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
follow that up with A. Marie. Why don't we fall in love?
That woman and
that's
her
a
legs.
mix.
That woman and her legs.
I know,
Ava Reed
right?
has some beautiful legs.
We'll be right back.
That's
Alright.
Let me see. Oh, Miss
Uh-oh.
Charm. Miss Charm.
Miss Charm. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, I guess we'll stay on a little bit longer until we get.
We
Miss
can talk
Charm.
about A. Marie's legs because
Yes.
man,
Her legs.
legs for days.
Yes.
Legs for days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where is Mo?
Yeah, I don't
What was
know.
in there?
Is Mo in there?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
But you know, we got Miss Charm, and you know, we supposed to be a breakdown, so I guess
But,
we just talk y'all through
But
until.
Kiana Lede.
That song X is the bomb though. I am sweating like a hoe in
She's
church.
she's got a few songs that I am loving right now.
Mhm.
I don't know how long exactly she's been on the scene, but I know she is one of the up and coming. Lizzo is another one. We're not going to play her today, but if y'all haven't heard of her, look her up on Spotify, Google, whatever the case may be, because yeah, you can't sleep on her. So again, Kiana X,
Yep.
and Why Don't We Fall in Love, A. Marie.
And we'll
All
be right back.
We'll be right back, y'all.
Let's see what's going on with this Facebook.
Yeah, and for whatever reason,
Oof.
No!
YouTube is not working today. I don't know.
No, YouTube. We'll
That's
get
okay.
y'all. We'll get y'all.
That's okay. I always do what I do. When YouTube don't work live, what I do is I upload it
What
later
are you
from the.
doing?
I ain't gonna get my hand for it.
Oh my God! So you just gonna get crusty glaze all over your face?
My fucking floor down.
Oh, y'all, we can't be talking about this stuff right now. I'm so mad at the world. The world, y'all suck right now. I'm just saying.
The world does not suck. It's the people in it.
It blows.
You're supposed to be doing this. Oh wow, we got a lot of comments. Miss Sunshine, you got
I'm
send the
sorry.
comments?
No, I'm not getting any comments on here.
Are you serious?
I think I got like one or two.
Well, it's a
And-
lot of
and,
people.
You know, Miss Johnson, I'm not appreciating all that negativity. You're messing up my imaginary world. Stop it. Oh. Yes. I know the world will never be perfect, but damn it. At least we could damn try. People ain't even trying. They just like, fuck it. I'm gonna make my paper. This building has no water? Oh.
And so
Well then.
Alcon has a satellite.
Well
facility.
then, I guess it's a good
But
thing.
I'm not sure if they actually do testing there, or if it's one of the things that where they process samples and then ship them out to another lab. And I'm thinking they process them and send them out to another lab because they said they only had 40 employees.
So why do people major in chemistry?
People usually major in chemistry because it's not the end.
That's what I thought. So they should go to medical school?
Med school is usually a choice. Law is usually a second choice.
But see, Miss Johnson,
You know, or politics.
Sharon, this is what I'm saying.
Or
What
is
we're
they
all
doing
saying.
Could
like
she go to
If
work in a forensics lab?
They are going to be counted as part of the population. They should have the right to vote.
Possibly.
Otherwise, they shouldn't be counted as at all.
possibly?
I'm down with
I'm
them not being
100%
counted
sure
at
because
all.
I'm not sure if that would need you
What's
need
going
a
on?
master's degree.
Oh,
or
I
not.
was just responding.
Are we
to
talking?
her.
But you might.
Yeah, we
be
got
able to get-
comments?
well,
Miss Johnson,
never
she
mind.
says no,
It'll
they
be
should
an
not
entry
have the
level
right to
job.
vote. They
Okay.
would be manipulated because of their vulnerability.
Okay.
I agree.
Entry level.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of different
I
sides
need
to
them
it.
not
Yeah.
to be counted.
I commend
If
you
they're not going to
being
vote,
an adult.
I don't need them to be counted.
And then not only
I know
that,
it's
the way that I also look at it is
I know.
that,
Excuse me.
and then this
I
is
know it's
this is
killing you, but
maybe something
I applaud
probably
you, 'cause I
kind
was
of
just
against
like-
it a little bit, but I agree with you because that will also start different kind of prison riots, all kind of different stuff, you know, could go
Sorry.
on.
So
And then she also says the world is doing good. I'm thinking slavery days was bad. We doing good. Remember, it used to be legal to lynch us. The world is doing good. Yeah, we may be doing better. We may be doing better. However, there is still plenty of room for improvement.
Yes.
Plenty of room.
So are you proud of the progress that we made?
Who, me?
Yeah. I mean, we made a lot of progress. Hey, Mo. You sure you don't need nothing?
Good morning.
hey, good morning.
The allergies kicking your butt.
You don't have any leg, bro?
Zyrtec.
I take a prescription.
Look,
Did you
I
get that?
alternate Benadryl, Xyzal, Benadryl, Claritin, Benadryl.
Benadryl always in the mix
It's
though.
always in the middle.
Benadryl is at night.
a lot of people to sleep, but it keeps me from going to sleep.
You know, I used to have to get my dog Benadryl because he was allergic to grass.
That's a damn shame.
No, I'm not laughing at the dog. It's just, we're in a, no. Just think about this. We're in a world where
Right.
dogs,
Give
we
me
know
the-
have dogs and
Have allergies.
pets have allergies, but we can't have sympathy for our common man.
Right.
That's the truth.
Look, well, and you know what? And this, I know this is controversial, and nobody really wants to talk about it, deal with it, whatever. But you know, our dogs. And look, I said our kids, but I mean they're my babies, my fur babies. You know, they get cancer, they get, you know, whatever diseases, whatever. Yeah, there's people who shell out the thousands of dollars to, you know, put them through treatment and whatnot. And then there's other people like me that is like, you know what, I'm so sorry, you've been loyal, you've been faithful, I'm going to put you down and put you out your misery because, you know, you shouldn't have to live like that.
Wow.
Look, but I'm also the person who's like, why can't we do the same for people?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, why make somebody live in a manner that they don't want to live?
1 minute left.
You know, I don't know about most people, but we've had discussions in our family, you know, if I can't wipe my own butt, please.
Yeah.
You know, or if I can't do this for myself, don't let me live like that. So, you know what? Why is it inhumane to let our dogs live and suffer, but it's not, and it's humane to put them down, but it's not the same for people.
And you know what? My
People, wait a minute, hold on.
I'm just saying, I
But
mean,
people,
you know,
people
we-
actually feel that way. I mean, I love pets too, but people feel that way because, baby, look, if
Let
it
it
comes
by.
between my life and a dog, the dog is gone.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you know, like I said, some people don't want to live a certain type of way if they get sick. I don't want to live as a vegetable. I got a
5,
DNR.
4,
Okay.
3, 2.
Sorry, my bad.
We are live. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. And that was A. Marie. Why don't we fall in love? And as always, if y'all want to see what the giggling and all the hoopla is about when we come back from break, be sure to catch us on our Facebook Live page and YouTube. But right now, we're going to get into early voting in Dallas County. Yes, it is that time. Early voting actually started on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right.
So make sure you make yourself aware. So for those that live in the Oak Cliff area, just a heads up, they changed the location from, I can't remember, it was a previous church, but now the location in Oak Cliff to early vote is Friendship West Baptist Church. So if you don't know where Friendship West is, if you own 20, just look for the pyramids. Off of 20 and Wheatland.
Right.
Make sure y'all are liking and sharing this out to people because, you know,
Yeah.
we want everybody to get this information.
And the other thing is, also, if you know where Carter High School is in Oak Cliff, it's right across the street from Carter High School. So that just a heads up, make yourself aware of the politicians that are running, the issues. Actually had a young gentleman the other day stop by at my mom's house, and he was saying that, you know, he was running for District 4, young gentleman, and I was surprised at his age. He was a Texas Tech grad, and she's like, "Oh, my baby went to A&M." You know how parents brag, you know. But she was like, the young guy was very insightful. So, you know, hey, you know. Get out there, those politicians that going door to door, making sure people vote.
Yes.
Make sure you give them a look, check their background out, see where they stand on different issues, and make sure you exercise your right to vote.
Well, what kind of questions would you ask a politician who knocks at your door, or one who's asking you for their vote on Facebook? What type of questions?
Or the ones that text you?
Yeah.
Okay, I would ask them where do they stand on education.
Okay.
That's an important one for me. Where do you stand on education, especially when it comes to the arts and extracurricular activities for young people? Because as we discussed earlier in the show, DeSoto, their middle school is losing their middle school band program. And if their band is getting hacked, I'm pretty sure their arts, as far as painting and acting, theatrics, I'm pretty sure that's already been cut. So what do you stand on making sure that
and
education?
why are all these programs getting cut?
Yes.
Paper over people.
Paper over
Greedy ass people. Sorry, okay.
No,
I'm
you
done.
good.
I'm done.
You good.
I'm not
Because
gonna
it all
no more.
ties into. I usually ask about the education things because once they give me that, I can actually get a feel for where they're going for everything else. Because if they're one of the ones that say, "Oh, well, yeah, we got to make some budget cuts," and you can't make sure that teachers are getting paid a living wage, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because I know what your salary is going to be as a public representative, but you can be okay with your salary, but we can't pay these teachers a living wage.
Right.
I have an issue with that.
Because I'm sorry, my teachers are not glorified daycare employees.
Exactly.
They are teachers. I need them to be able to do their job and teach.
And then they had did you see the news story on here at DFW about the teachers making $90,000 because now they're going into a merit-based system based on the test scores of the children.
Okay.
But what they forgot to tell you was that she had her master's, she had her master's, she's bilingual, and she's a STEM teacher. They forgot to
Yeah.
put that part in there.
See, and to
Wow.
me, not saying that history's not important, not saying that, political science, art, those are very important as well. However, we have to have a system in place where our teachers can make a living wage.
And let's face it, real history ain't taught until you get out of the public school system.
Well, and then you just have to integrate it, because when you're talking about North Korea, you need to talk about the war, the North and South Korea, and then you talk about Kim Jong-un now and about how he's trying to send missiles this way. But you can't integrate it and talk about where if North Korea is in Asia and he sends a missile, what part of the United States would he hit first? I know it depends on the missile, but if he's got short range, the part would be
Hawaii.
West Coast, right?
Well, Hawaii would be first, and then California, Alaska,
Right.
California,
Seattle.
yeah.
And he ain't gonna mess with California. I mean, he ain't gonna mess with Alaska, because you could throw some missile in Alaska and it just gets stuck.
Yeah,
You know,
because the population is not there.
It's not there, and what it's gonna do, kill a bear or two? But I mean, you gotta, and the education starts.
We have people
But-
that are from Alaska.
and they got bears.
And moose.
Moose.
Right.
What's the plural for moose?
Mooses.
Moose.
Oh, what are mooses?
Moose.
It's gonna be a
Moose.
moose.
Yeah.
Look,
But
Antelope.
here's the thing: when
I don't
somebody
know
wants,
antelope. There's no antelope.
I mean, y'all naming out animals. I just start throwing my animal in now.
but
Y'all can't throw my animal in
Elk.
now.
Elk.
An antelope in Alaska. 'Cause
There's
it
no
starts with an
antelope in Alaska.
Deer,
Why don't we just say
fawn,
Why don't we say
Elk.
reindeer?
elk,
I don't see Santa Claus. He gonna say Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
oh goodness,
I mean,
but
that would get question education.
But
You ask them.
here's the thing though. When if you don't understand the impact of sending a missile or bombing a country is to be the biggest impact with the least amount of
That's right.
effort.
That's right.
So if you're gonna do that, then you gotta go for the biggest population centers to make the biggest impact.
That's right.
So the biggest population center from the West Coast, which would be closest to Korea,
That's right.
would be LA
That's right.
or somewhere in California.
And you want to get a center somewhere makes a lot of money.
Right.
And California and San Francisco makes a lot of money. Be like, no, they don't. But that's where your
I mean, you're talking
Amazon
about the
is.
Silicon Valley
That's where
and
we're housed.
Hollywood
Now,
and
if you want to get all the data breach organizations, then you want to go to North Carolina and
Washington,
research Triangle
Seattle.
Park.
Yeah.
Research Triangle Park in North Carolina, and then West Virginia, because Byrd, before he died, not that Byrd, but the other the white Byrd, racist, he negotiated because he had so much power. All of your information for government is housed in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. So you want to bomb West Virginia, which ain't got for 4 folk, no bears. And the 4 folk are related.
Oh,
Isn't West Virginia one of those swing states?
yes.
See,
Swing where?
see,
Shit, they can't swing nothing.
That's
it be
they probably swing
places
in
like
Norway.
West Virginia that will break over a presidential election, and here you go.
I'm just saying. Well, and then also tell people in Dallas County that it's Dallas County elections, not the Dallas City.
Right,
Correct.
Dallas County elections.
Because people in Cedar
Absolutely.
Hill, hell, they don't know that they live in Dallas County.
Right.
What?
I'm just letting you know.
Don't they say that on their taxes when they get their taxes every year? Dallas County
So
taxes.
you assuming that everybody paying taxes because you assuming everybody own a house.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I tell you this.
When I'm pissed off at Cedar Hill because they got a Fuel City coming in.
Really? Oh yeah.
Oh.
They sure do have a Fuel City
We
coming
fought
in.
it and we fought it and we lost and we're pissed off because it's a truck stop and it's transient. And what happens in transient? Prostitution and crime. Cedar Hill had 1 murder last year and 2 the year before because this man shot up folk in Cedar Hill and he wasn't from Cedar Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, we had no murders aside from that lady who killed her girlfriend. But we're gonna let that alone. But prior to that, now the crime rate is going to increase. It's hard.
Yeah.
Fuel City. So when the people were running for election, I was like, did you support Fuel City? And then this guy gave me this long. I said yes or no. Why? And just yes or no, sir. On Facebook, yes or no. I don't have all day for your bullshit. He's like, well, you know, business needs to come. No, this is a bedroom community. That's not why we moved here. Everybody here commutes. That's why we won't have public transportation come here, because we don't want everybody coming here.
Right.
Well, Mo, you know, we, as much as, we love Cedar Hill and all this kind of stuff, I think that the rail system should run through there. I do because Cedar Hill, connects us to points further, like Mansfield and these different areas. And the way that transportation is going nowadays, Dallas has the absolute best public transportation, in the South, or I should say in Texas. Let's do it like that, because Houston's really, and then you go to other places, and it's like, oh my God, you go to Dallas, you can catch the bus anywhere, just about, except probably parts of Mesquite, Cedar Hill, that kind of thing. But you can get to the edge, and you probably have to walk the rest of the way, Uber or something. But you could get, the different, modes of transportation that people have to go backwards and forwards, because you're right. Cedar Hill has always been conservative, where they don't want people there.
Yeah.
But now, what you got to think about it now, with the reversal of things are starting to happen. More of us are moving outward. More of them are moving back in. So
Because they don't want to commute.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, if more of us is out there, what happens is more of us need buses.
Well, you know what? More us need to buy cars, because right now I got a move. I can't live. Fuel City, I got trench up. Shit, why they put a Buc-ee's?
But think about it. If we had more public transportation in places like Cedar Hill, that would literally free up some of the road, stuff that's going on. Think about the air pollution and think about stuff like that, because you have to keep in mind, thinking as a whole, they're always saying, we want you guys to commute or carpool, because it's saving time, time and money in your pocket.
Look, you can't commute.
Look,
Uber drivers getting shot. Uber passengers getting shot.
Look here. I'm sorry.
I commute an hour.
And I feel you, Mo, because look, when I stayed in Cedar Hill, we had a police officer that stayed on my street. And when I first moved into the neighborhood, I got pulled over.
That's right.
And he was like, hey, how you doing? Hadn't seen you over here before. I stayed right down the road. He introduced himself, told me where he stayed and everything. He was like, I hadn't seen your vehicle over here before, and I was just kind of wondering. I told, I just bought a house, da-da-da-da. He was like, okay, and he introduced himself, gave me his number, and it was like, it was the proper kind of police interaction that you should have in your neighborhood.
And they log your stuff in there, so whenever, let's say you blow a stop sign, they ain't even gonna do nothing. They're like, okay, you live here, but you run your license and you don't live here,
oh yeah,
pulled over. And I like that. I also like that when I called there and dispatch couldn't get my stuff right, the cop came to the door. He said, what? I said, there is a truck there with no license plates, with 2 people with orange vests, and there's no signage, and they're going into the water thing. He said, what are you talking about? And of course I had taken a picture out my front window. And he said, oh, hold up. Immediately 3 other cops came. Guys didn't have no identification, and went to my neighbor and said, is someone trying to poison your water? I said, that's what I'm talking about. And you know what they said? See, that's why we like you. White van, go slow. You go slow one day up my street. You go slow the next day, you got everything's being recorded.
Mhm.
I don't have time. Everybody on my street has cameras, and the way we set them up is when the car goes past one, the other one.
You
gets
have
past
that neighborhood link system.
I ain't playing.
Hell yeah. And I love Cedar Hill. I love Frisco. These are the reasons that I love them. Yeah. Ovilla. Yeah.
I tell you, I got lost there. And I was like, why does everyone have a barn matching their house? And my husband was like, fool, that's a hang because everybody got a plane. I said, let's get the hell out of here. Everybody, I was like, their barns match. I said, their house is blue, the barn is blue. He's like, oh, they got that. So there's an airport. I said, get the hell up out of here. We ain't got enough money. Everybody
had a plane.
Miss Sharon Johnson, she's been very verbal today, and we appreciate that because I want to see. I know it's hot in
I'm
here.
trying to go.
Look,
I
it
got
ain't
the
even
fan
summertime.
on.
Ain't
I'm trying
even
to go all
summertime.
natural.
I got the fan on back here. She says,
so it could blow on us.
okay, so now she says, we all want to be safe. Cedar Hill should be safe because of what again?
What you mean?
Like why put all this emphasis on not allowing
Fuel City is a truck stop. It's people in truck stops are transit. You have a higher possibility of
Prostitution,
Murder.
drugs, transporting people.
but where is they gonna put it? I mean,
not in my backyard. Pull it somewhere else.
But why we can't use City Hill?
Why you want to bring a truck stop? Bring Buc-ee's. Hell, at least Buc-ee's won't let truck stop in there.
Oh shit, I'm having a problem. Okay.
But yeah, but a Fuel City tacky, and on that corner tackless. Just tackless.
Well, I mean, I get that, Mo, but why not City Hill? Because
it's not in my backyard.
I mean, but Mo, you
put it
know.
on Cliff.
Well, Mo, where you gonna put a bigger Fuel City in Oak Cliff?
I don't know, but that Fuel City ain't real big though.
Right off Bonneville.
I think they should stick it right there at City Hill.
Well,
let me tell you why.
You know why? Because you don't live there. You don't have to worry about the damn crime.
But Mo, crime is everywhere.
No, crime is not.
Yes, it is.
Crime is not everywhere.
Crime is everywhere, Mo. I live in Plano. I live in Plano.
That's right, murder statistics. Y'all done killed more folk in Plano than they have in Cedar Hill. And that's what I try to tell everybody.
Now y'all turn.
No, I tell them to go up north. When people come down and they're like,
now y'all turn.
You need
some of these folks come on after them prostitutes and stuff. Put them Cedar Hill lazy ass Cedar Hill police to work.
You know what?
That's what you do. They need to come on out there and get the prostitutes and bring the Bible people up there so they can come up there.
Because I got another gun saved for my birthday.
So you'll be all right.
And I get to shoot on site. They just have to be in my backyard.
This is one of the things that I understand Mo is. Yeah, I don't know. What? No, it's not the heat. It's the fan. One of the things I understand about Mo is like, okay, when you look at the policing in an area like Cedar Hill, those police actually get to know the people that live there. That's a huge plus. Especially when you're a black man driving a nice vehicle.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about getting shot in your own backyard.
Right.
Now, I didn't mind getting pulled over.
Right.
Because it was the way that the police officer, number one, it was his approach.
Yes.
And then number two was the fact that not only did he let me know who he was, that he stayed in the neighborhood, he gave me his card, told me, hey, make sure if you have any problems, give me a call. Yeah. That's what's missing from our police system right now.
Right.
Which when you have a place like Fuel City or one of these huge truck stops, you don't have that because they're running around trying to chase crime.
You know what?
And I'm sorry, I like that interaction with my local police officer.
I might pick it Fuel City.
Now let me say, you might pick it.
I might do a picket sign because I ain't got nothing to do.
So this is my thing. And what time is it?
Look, can you grab me some tacos?
It's 11:04.
I mean, it's your segment. I mean, you
yeah.
it.
So I'm gonna let you do this, and then we're gonna move on to the poll question.
So this is my thing. Oh, is it poll question time? Oh, this will be fun. Okay, this will be fun. Okay, so my thing is Mo, you're right. Okay, and Hendrix, I agree with you. Keeping the community aspect, police officers, stuff like that. Mo, I agree with you 100%. But let me tell you why. First of all, I ain't never liked City Hill that much. Even when I stayed out there, I ain't never liked it.
Right.
I thought that them people out there, they was
Boring.
No, I thought them people was racist.
Yeah,
What?
the black people? Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
I'm not talking about white people.
Yeah, you talking about
I'm talking about black folk.
Because it's 60-40. So yeah, you right.
You know, so
You
my
right.
thing is, you where you going? You pull that off.
You right.
You know, I mean, even your own kind when you go out there.
Colored and black.
No. We all have melanin in our skin. We are talking about all melanated people.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but if you go to the Walmart in Cedar Hill, you're not gonna see a whole bunch of people walking around with bonnets and
That's true.
house slippers.
You probably
In
got
their
your brown
pajamas.
though. You probably
In
got
their
your brown
pajamas.
though since they done closed
Oh,
that
know
Wheeling
what? You know
location.
what? Since they closed Wheeling, and I said, oh, they gonna come over here like roaches just spread. Baby, I saw one. I said, what do you have on?
Wait, I didn't know the reason why they closed that Walmart till yesterday.
Why?
What?
So y'all don't know the reason?
I know the reason. What did you do?
Allegedly, the reason that they closed the Walmart, Miss Charm, is because they found a dead body parked out in the parking lot,
so
and it was
And for
about
5-6 days.
No, it was for 6 weeks.
Oh.
Okay, but wait a minute. There was a white lady in California who was found in a car. Who was there? Who had been there for a long
They said I said allegedly. They said that the only way that they found this one car that had been parked there is because blood started coming out of the car and it was leaking under the car. So that's how they found out.
But it's a 24-hour Walmart. What do they expect?
But Monique.
But you would think that somebody would notice a car parked there for 6 weeks
is what I'm
and
told.
not move.
Mm-hmm.
And
then-
eventually, I mean, within a matter of days, the stench should have been emitting from the car.
And you know that's not well. How many murders has I think it's maybe like 2 other instances at this Walmart, and followed by a couple of sexual assault in the back of that place.
Oh, wow.
You know, so Walmart, I guess halfway good job, but y'all should have been close to that place. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, so
What we got?
we're gonna get into the poll questions. First one. What is the appropriate age range to discuss sex with your child?
Whenever they start to,
Whenever
they start being curious.
What were the results?
Well, the results were 94% said 11 to 13. 6% said 14 to 16. Now we had quite a few comments, and most of the comments were basically younger, or whenever they start exhibiting signs that they're interested in the opposite sex.
Or when
oh,
they
but
ask you,
same sex. No, whenever
ask
they
you, what is
start,
that?
yeah, you
when,
know.
when they see you peeing, and they were like, what is that?
Yeah.
Daddy, why are you standing up?
Look, my boys be like, Mommy, why don't you have one of my? And I'm like, 'cause I'm not a boy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so she now knows girl and boy. She's like,
And you know,
and
Mommy,
girl
what are
bathroom, boy
those?
bathroom. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what they do. They're like, what is that? What is that?
So progressively
I feel
teach them is what
Yeah.
y'all saying.
Yeah,
Progressively.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
don't freak out. Oh my God, you don't need to know that.
Right. No.
Why people do that?
I don't know.
Because they're stupid.
But you have to explain things on the level that your child is
Age
on.
appropriate.
Age appropriate
And
explanation.
don't make little cutesy names. What
Yeah.
are these?
No,
These are breasts.
that's your vagina, your
That's right.
breast, your penis. You know
That's
what?
mommy
And
breast.
once they know the proper terminology,
Then
yeah,
you
go
do it.
ahead. That's your vajayjay,
And
whatever.
then it's not important because you're like, Mommy, you have breasts. Does Daddy have breasts? It's like, yeah, Daddy should wear a bra, but Daddy does have breasts.
Okay.
Next poll question.
Next poll question.
Next poll question.
Next poll question is from the desk of Miss Sunshine.
Uh-oh.
A listener asked, and this is from a listener: when a black man dates outside of their ethnicity, is it disrespectful to black women? 100% said no.
I was shocked.
Me too. I was shocked at
100%.
that.
Because you said when a what?
A black man dates outside of their ethnicity, is it disrespectful to black women?
No.
No.
So if we flip it around and said if a black woman dates outside of ethnicity, is it disrespectful to black men?
I still
When I
say
tell
no.
you, when I tell you,
I still say
swear
no.
to God, if you do it, I tell you, them folk get upset. Them black men get upset.
And see, I don't. To me,
and
I don't know. Well, maybe some of them,
They
but
get upset. Come out there, y'all go, always going up. I got to fight a guy named, I said Brass, because he always talks about black empowerment. And even my cousin, Dr. Samora Swagger, hey, he talks about black empowerment.
Yeah.
And how black women are queens, and he places them on a pedestal. And neither one of these jokers are married.
Yeah.
To a black woman. They're not married, period. But I'm like, hell, if you think we're so great and you place them as a pedestal, marry one. You got a lot of them to choose from.
Yeah.
So I think they talk about the Saturday Mail.
Well, we're gonna stay on time, and we're gonna go to break.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to break, and
We in church.
We can come
Yeah.
back.
We
to
come
this
back to the poll
we can
question.
come back to the poll.
Yeah.
We in
Before-
church with the
because
fans,
this-
y'all. Y'all see this?
This last segment is gonna be kind of serious. So
Yeah.
we hit the last
Y'all
before
see
we go
this?
into them.
Fans.
So
We're
we're
Martin
gonna
Luther
get
King
into
fans.
"Good Morning" by Max Frost. And oh, wait,
No,
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm
we
sorry.
already had a good
Hendrix
morning.
is tripping. That was then Layla Hathaway and
That's
Brown
fine.
Sugar, Most Def. Ooh, I love Brown Sugar.
We'll be right back.
Sorry,
I'm crack that Domo.
Oh, ain't no
Yes,
cracking,
yes,
ain't no
yes.
cracking, ain't no cracking.
I got it.
Okay.
We gonna have to come back with the dry ice in the cooler. What?
I'm gonna let this all the way
Where,
down.
look, I don't even know of a place near that sells dry ice because I
Kroger.
know my Kroger does not.
Every Kroger I know. Says
My
dry ice.
Kroger does not. My Walmart does not. I live in the wrong damn neighborhood.
That's a lot. Black women says it doesn't bother them to sound politically correct. I think interracial dating bothers black women more than they're willing to admit. I completely agree with you. Miss Sunshine, you just like rolling over the card. don't you?
Look,
There you go.
no, and just look.
You know what?
Put it
I
behind
got
you.
this.
Keep it. No,
I
no,
know
you
exactly
behind
what I'm gonna do. Hold on.
you. Whatever you doing, show feeling good.
I know.
I mean,
Look.
I ain't had
Woo!
no, I ain't had no backspin.
I know. Hold on, but I'm gonna make it even better for you.
Oh,
Make it even
shoot.
better. Hold on a second.
Huh? Yes, sir.
I'm glad you're
It's
back.
about that time. 45 minutes.
Does he have to potty?
No,
You wanna go home?
He just want to go
he
home.
just want to go home. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. See.
Hey. Woo. Yeah.
Oh boy.
The-
Okay. What is
Did you bring that jump drive?
I did. Ain't
You
shit
bring my
on it.
t-shirt?
Huh?
You bring my t-shirt?
I was.
Okay.
what
No,
t-shirt?
yeah, I agree.
I
But
thought you
see, I
said
know myself
you got my
personally.
t-shirt.
I just don't
You
get
don't
it.
have no t-shirt?
You was supposed to get her t-shirt. You was up there at the thing, remember? You said I gotta remember to get Mo's t-shirt.
I thought we got Mo's t-shirt from you.
No, from the lupus people, I paid $30.
Oh no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't give that to me like that.
Well,
You have to show ID.
Let me call.
You have to show ID to get that stuff.
Let me call.
They made me pull out my ID and say, "Damn, just to register for the walk." I said, "I gotta walk to my car. I ain't not do all that."
Well, see, they didn't make me have mine because I had my email.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you had your email,
Right.
they didn't make you show your ID. But if you didn't, then yeah, they made you show your ID.
Let me jump on holler at Facebook real quick.
Yes, yes. That was like and love everybody.
YouTube,
In
what's
fact,
up?
while we taking this break, everybody go ahead and take this opportunity. Like us, love us. We ain't seen no hearts, no smiley faces. Y'all ain't laughing, we ain't funny. Okay, whatever.
We are very funny. Okay, Dwaylen. Thanks so much, man. TJ Savoy, thanks, man. Wait a minute, stop that. Thank you so much for watching, man. Thank you so much. Miss Briscoe, thank you so much. Ty, what's going on? Mike Will, thanks for watching.
Miss
Becky
Briscoe.
with the
Is
good
that
hair.
Who was that Briscoe?
Cenceliia. Cecilia. I hope I said that right. Okay, here we go.
Cecilia? Is that what you said?
Cecilia.
Oh.
It's a C-E-N-C, that word. Okay, Eric, I'm sorry. Earl, what's going on, man? Sharda, thanks so much for watching. Mary, Miss Mary. Charles, thanks for watching. Jay, what's going on? Tania, what's going on? Thank you. I'm watching. Lady P is watching from Nasty Natty. What's going on, cuz? JJ, Tammy, thanks for watching. Nikki, Marlon, thank you guys for watching. Ty and Capri of Houston, Texas. What's up to Shield Baker is watching. Denithia Montgomery.
Wow.
What?
That name in a minute.
Denithia Montgomery.
Where you been at, girl? What? I don't
Q, stop. Q, stop. Because I saw that look. Q, just stop.
What's going on, everybody? Eric, thanks so much for watching. Drill Washington, Tracy Cooksey, Robert Barnes, Houston, Texas, Latricia. What's going on? My sister Alicia's watching. What's going on? Y'all doing all right? Let's see. MC Cleveland, as Tony C. Cleveland is on. Buster, thanks for watching. Renita Crane, hey girl. Kim Lee, thank you for watching. Appreciate that. Tyrone Wade, what's going on? It's my sister's father. We appreciate you watching. Whew, that's always a whole lot of people.
I know, and you ain't done yet.
I'm not through yet?
No. Oh, you done now?
Yeah, it's
okay,
going now.
Oh, you missed somebody. Hold on, scroll back up there. You missed somebody. You missed somebody.
Oh, Lady P is Nasty Natty. Just make me wave at her again. Listen, guys, when we come back, we're going to be digging into James Byrd, the young man, of course, that was dragged in Jasper, Texas back in the 90s. His second, the second murderer, or whatever you want to think about, what we call it, was put to death on last week. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to dig back into our poll questions, too. So Hinge is going to get them ready. And what else we going to talk about?
I got to go back to that.
What else we gonna talk about? We got something else we're gonna talk about too. Make sure you like this broadcast, share this broadcast, give us some hearts, all this kind of stuff, the laughy face emojis. Even if you're mad, give us some mad ones too. Yeah. Mo is here today.
The 13-year-old that died in the fight after the fight in the school in Houston, and then we're gonna talk about the Houston principal that no more do-rags with the dress code for the parents.
Right.
Yeah, you got me pulling up poll questions and trying to do it. Yeah, swap man.
No, I can. What I can do is I can, if you want me to, pull up the show segment and stuff like that.
Okay, if you do that, then I'll get the poll questions because we did that one.
Oh my God, that feels so good. You feeling better, Mom?
All you guys, thanks so much for watching on my watch party. Rudy, thanks so much, Rudy. Jonathan Dixon, Andre Barnes, James Waters, thanks so much, guys, for joining on my watch party. Make sure you tune in because this episode is going to be right back on tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time.
Now you sleep.
We will be hosting Late Nights with Mash the Gas. Like a rerun, we're back for more. So yeah, so we'll be back for more. Make sure you guys tune in or share, or if you know someone that hadn't tuned in yet, make sure that they take a look because we love our watch parties. Well, at least I do.
And you know what? Our demographics have changed for my listeners too.
What?
Really?
Yeah, we got people from Turkey, South Africa,
Oh yeah,
Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like okay. Of course,
Ooh.
most of our listeners. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to bring up a little entertainment segment for y'all who have not had the chance to check out Guava Island with Donald Glover.
I couldn't
Check it
get into
out.
that.
Netflix, Guava Island. Rihanna's in there. But the message is powerful. The message is powerful.
I will give you that. The message is powerful.
I mean, don't expect Grammy Award winning acting. They ain't going to get that.
Right.
But
It's
the
like
message. Guava Island.
It reminded me of a Michael Jackson video. So it's like you had like a mini movie.
Stand by.
Yes.
Yeah, you had like a mini
Pull the
movie.
door, push the
Whoa, we taking a background
Oh.
shot.
Oh,
Oh, 5.
5, 4.
bring us back in.
I got you. Yo, welcome back. You are live. We are live. This is your boy Q again. Thank you so much for sticking in there with us and all this good kind of stuff. Listen, if you want to join the conversation with us on today, 214-717-4827, 214-717-4827 to join the conversation with your MTG crew. Listen, also while I have the mic at this moment, we're going to go ahead and make a couple announcements real quick. Make sure that you join us at the after party live on May the 4th.
May the 4th be
Be with you.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, 3 to
Damn.
6 p.m. Trapped in the Closet, a dialogue, an open dialogue on breaking the ties that binds us. And featuring the award-winning podcasters, Brie of Grown Folks Talking, Boss Hog of the Petty Crew will be co-moderating the show. Amber of
Nobody else wants to-
Diversity
Oh,
Outspoken.
Jesus.
What is it?
I don't know.
Man.
Your boy Q from Master Gas Talk Radio and my boy Convo from Hustlenomics will be in the house. We also gonna have special guest comedian Black Run's gonna be there, and also DJ Curdy is gonna be on the mix. Pre-sale tickets are $15. This is a live podcast, and we're gonna be having some giveaways and some fun. We're gonna be playing nice, good shot games like Never Have I Ever.
Never have I ever.
You know, so yeah, I got a real good
I
Never
gotta
Have
eat
I
before
Ever.
I go.
So I think everybody's gonna be drinking on my Never
And
Have I Ever.
this is next Saturday. Man.
This is next Saturday.
Saturday. So you need to go ahead and get your pre-sale tickets now, so you don't want to be paying that extra money at the door.
$15 pre-sale tickets. Come see myself and the crew and the rest of the after party family. You know, make sure you come on out and check us out at the Brick House Lounge, 2525 East Arkansas Lane, Arlington, Texas, 76010.
And if you're looking for the link, we have the link on our page. However, we will boost it to where it'll show at the top of our page. So make sure you check us out on Master Gas Talk Radio and our Master Gas Facebook page, and we'll get you the link to buy your tickets. So, all right. So we're gonna jump back into these poll questions real quick.
Let's jump on the poll question. What's
Is
the
it
next
okay for a step-parent to spank or discipline his or her spouse's children?
one? Fuck them up.
Yeah, so 77% said hell yes, only 23% said no. We had a few comments. Some people said basically it's a slippery slope. You gotta kind of time it, and depending on the situation, and it depends on the relationship between the step parent and the child.
That was you said that, Miss Sunshine.
Well, actually, no, that was
that wasn't you.
Right.
it was slippery
right.
slope, but then it
Because, I
go
mean,
ahead.
you're not the parent. So,
I say fuck them up.
you know, and
Fuck
are
up.
they living in your house or are they visiting in your house? What's the relationship between you and the other parent? Because that's another thing. You know, I don't have a relationship with my stepdaughter's mother. So I have no discipline there. I let her father handle that. But I don't have any issues with my stepchild either. So,
Well, that's a good way of looking at it. I'm assuming the way that the poll question was written, I'm thinking that as if the stepchild lived with the
then it would be a
parent.
whole nother
Because
issue.
if the stepchild is living in the home and is paying for and taken care of, fuck them up.
And you know what? Here's the thing. You gotta remember, it's two things that I think are important. Number one, it takes a village to raise a child,
Yes.
and we've gotten away from that.
Yes.
Right?
So, but with that same breath, everybody doesn't know their roles and responsibilities.
And the magic 8 ball says.
Should step parents fuck up their children?
Okay.
That's it.
That's enough saying.
That's, yeah.
What do you say?
It says,
Oh, you got it all.
oh,
Look, you shook it so much, can't read the shit.
let the bubbles go away.
You shook
You
it.
shook it too much.
It say,
My reply is no.
Ooh.
no, do that again. Flip it
Well,
one time,
look,
yeah.
you
Do
know
that
what?
again.
Here's the
You don't
thing.
like that.
When I was growing up,
Outlook not so good. I'm telling you, you gotta be.
when I was growing
you gotta
up,
be gentle.
when my mother sent me somewhere, she always said, "Hey, I'm sending your ass with you."
Mhm.
That's right.
So if you act a fool, you gonna get what's coming to you. You know, I'm sorry, but my dad was not the disciplinarian. My dad is heavy-handed. He did stuff that would hurt you, not physically hurt you, but it would hurt you in a different kind of way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yeah.
like when you get a little older and you start driving, oh, I ain't giving you gas money for the next 2 months.
Right.
Figure it out.
Wow.
You know, he hurt you like that.
Look, I remember being hurt the most by my mother when one night I got disrespectful. I was like, she was like, I need you to be home at 11 o'clock. I was going out at 9. I was like, I ain't coming home at 9. I called her. I was like, I ain't coming home. Click.
Wow.
And she went to bed. Look, I was up all night after I got home going, she gonna kick my ass in the morning. I'm gonna get beat down. It's going down. Messed me up for a whole week because I didn't know when it was coming. I didn't know when it was coming.
Most of step children get whooping by the step parent if they live with them.
I don't touch him.
You don't touch
I
them.
don't touch him. I walk away.
You walk away.
Because if I'm with somebody, I don't tell you. If your child is acting a fool, then I say, hey, your child's acting a fool. Okay, this is what you can't do. And this is why this is what you can't do. You can't tell no adult about their child. Because they take the defense. They would, all right, fuck it. So I let them do it. I be like, hey, you need to do this. First of all, they're going to say, you don't have no children.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, they're going to say, no, first of all, they're going to say, that ain't your child. Second of all, they're going to say, you ain't got no children. And you be like, you know what, you're right. So when I get to the point when I'm like, I see something and you want to tell somebody, but they're not going to take it, you know they're not going to take it, constructive criticism, you be like, you can't see the forest with the trees because you're in the trenches, you're the parent. I'm trying to show you how the person, your child, looks from the outside world, and you don't want to take constructive criticism.
I agree 100%.
You know what I do?
Don't.
Because
I'd be like, oh, okay.
Because that's another thing. I have seen the flip side where you have the child act one way in front of the parent and then act a different way around the step parent or other people. And even children do it in the home with, the mother and the father. That old, well, mom said yes, playing one parent against the other. When children learn the art of manipulation, and believe it or not, they do it a lot younger.
They learned it at 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
And this is where
You just gotta be like, you know what?
It takes all the parents to come together. Put all your personal beef aside with each other. Your focus should be on that child.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, I have 2 moms. I do not consider my quote unquote stepmother a stepmom.
Right.
I don't. I have 2 moms.
Right.
Because most people will not know that is my stepmom when she introduced me. Oh, this is my oldest baby right here.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, there is no differentiation between like me and the other kids. And so I'm sorry, but my parents were mature enough to sit down and say, look, if he causing a problem, you're going to catch a beat down in one house.
Right.
And when you get back to the other one, you're going to catch a beat down there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I figured that out, it's like, ain't no manipulation because they talking to each other. They know what's going on.
And see, that was my thing. I think, you painted the picture I was just about to say. We got one more poll question, right?
Right, we got one more.
Okay, I'm going to say we move on. I think it's how you started.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If I was to get married and she got cheering, or whatever the case it is, and the first thing I'm gonna say is, yo, you sure you want to marry me, and your children's gonna live with me, because I have every right, if I'm going to be a parent or an influence in that child's life, to fuck them up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna come in my house. You're not gonna be disrespectful.
My
what
house,
you,
my rules.
and let me tell you, what you're not gonna do is get around your daddy or your other mama over there on the other corner where they live at over there,
And try and
then
start
you're gonna
some mess.
embarrass me, because you're gonna come back to my house and I'm gonna fuck you up. Period. It's not gonna happen. And see, I'm with you. Manipulation, you children do learn manipulation early, but it's what you let them do.
Right.
And nowadays, children have way too many choices and way too many options of strict discipline to say this is what you're not going to do. Because it's one thing to allow a child to be a child, but it's another thing to allow a child to disrespect an adult. Because if you allow them to do what they're going to do to you, they're going to do it to somebody else. And so my thing is when you come in my house, and if you think you're going to come in my house and eat my food, Mo, you ain't got no damn options. I ain't walking away. You either get your shit and go to your other parent, or I'm going to fuck you up.
But the problem with that is that there's so much guilt today with single parents and co-parenting. So they don't, I see it every day. They don't want to say anything to the kids.
That's a slippery slope.
Because they always say no. They always say, they don't want to be the one who always say no. They don't want to be the one who always discipline. They don't want to have, be the so-called voice of reason. I see it every single day. They want to be the one who the kid at least has a good or fun time with.
See?
So you have to.
Now see, that's where I'm like, you know what? I was a single parent once, and my kids will tell you they hated me because I always
here's the thing.
Can't do that.
You may not like your parent at that time, but when you get older, you will appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
And
at
to
some
me,
point in time, you will appreciate and respect everything that they do.
And that's the long-term goal. It's
And if
not
you
for
don't-
right here, right now. And that's the problem with a lot of parenting right now. It's right here, right now,
Everybody
and not
wants
for
to
the
be the
long
friend.
term.
Right.
You are a parent first. It's great to be your child's friend. It's great because I'm gonna tell you right now. Me and my dad hang out. We have a great time together.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Pops kick it. Oh, we kicking it. But growing
No
up,
lie.
growing up, when Pops laid the hammer down, and that's what it was. It ain't no, oh, well, no. When he said no, it wasn't, oh, well, I'm going to go ask mama. And no. If he said no, it wasn't happening.
That's right.
That's just it. So we're going to get into the next poll question.
What's the next?
When a woman thinks like a man, when a woman says she thinks like a man, is that really a true statement? 55% said yes, she can. 45% said no, she can't.
I want to know how.
I don't understand. I can't be like a man. How can I think like a man? I don't have upper body strength like a man. How can I be a man? See, that's the
You
problem.
talking
with
about physical versus mental, though.
It's the same. Because look, I don't have the same come from. I don't have the same starting point. I can't be like a man. When women, the ERA that didn't pass, people were like, women are just as good as men. They're the same. They're equal. We are not equal. A man, I don't care how much he wants to, he is not going to be a woman. Even if he changes, he has a surgery, his DNA still says he's a man. No more than when I sit in my garage in my car. Y'all, get your shit together. Let me tell you what's really going on. Can I think like a man? No. Can I think better than a man? Perhaps. But it all depends. And stop saying I can think it's apples and oranges.
I think a woman has the ability to outthink a man.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
hard.
absolutely.
So
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure
Oh, yeah.
out why you want to think like a man.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And this is
But
coming
again,
from a
I
man.
think-
I don't get it.
I think it stems from more the emotional part of it, where because women, we are nurturers by nature. I think and men are not. I think it's more of taking the emotion out of the thinking is what we're really truly thinking about. Because, you know, let's just be honest. The
Yeah.
men that run this world.
And I think that's a better statement. Sometimes women take your emotions out of some of your thought processes.
But that's impossible. Really,
No, it's not.
You don't
no,
think
no,
so?
it's not. No, because a lot of women do it. And a lot of
Impossible? No.
hard, yes.
Desirable?
Probably not. But here's the funny part. A lot of
Okay.
women that make business decisions and make sound decisions that are hard,
Right.
they're often viewed by the world as a bitch.
Right.
And that's an unfair judgment. Because if you put a man in the same position and he makes the same call, they're not gonna think twice about it. So why should you think twice when a woman does it?
Like Mo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Mo.
Mo is
thinking
good.
like a man. Shit.
No,
what?
Mo is the perfect example
Mo.
of how
Taking
you
your
make
emotions out of
logical
it.
decisions and take emotions out of it. And granted, do I agree with all Mo's choices? No, I do not. However, I will say you this.
No.
I
Hell
don't agree
no.
I don't agree with a lot of Mo's stances. However, I do give her this one credit.
Yeah.
She is very consistent with her
Yeah,
thought process.
she is.
And
Very
that-
consistent.
That is like, so when she says some things and when she does something, I'm not
Believe her.
shocked.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked because, okay, that's Mo. That's
Yeah.
her, but that's how she views the world. There's nothing wrong with it. The way I view the world is completely different. Sunshine, Q, we all view the world differently.
Right.
It's not necessarily how you view the world and how you make your choices. The things we have to understand is that we have to learn how to respect our differences and respect the fact that it may not be the best decision for you.
Right,
I may say,
right.
hey, that's not a good call. You're going to make it anyway. And when you bump your head later on, you're going to probably come running back for help.
Right.
But that's okay. Go on, bump your head because that's the way some people learn.
Right.
You
Right.
got to give them that fruit. Now, you say your piece, hey, you shouldn't do this. But, you know, you do it anyway. Like most of them, yeah, that's what you're doing anyway. And then you're going to suffer the consequences. Let it be.
That right there.
Let it be.
That right there.
Well, let's go ahead and move on with the show then. That's
Yes,
all the poll
we gonna-
questions?
Yeah, that's all the poll questions. We're going to move on.
Now, Mo actually supposed to be leading this segment, but I'm going to do it for her since Mo having voice complications today. Is that okay, Mo? Okay. Well, she's so fake. She's so fake. She's so fake. Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. Okay, now,
My own tissue.
let's dig into it. Let's dig into it. John William King, executed for the murder of James Byrd Jr.
21 years too late.
21.
We waste too much time keeping these people on death row. I really do believe so.
Well, you know, you say that, but then sometimes you have these results that come out 20-something, 30-something odd years later that prove that they didn't do it.
Yeah, but this was unequivocally they did it.
True.
Let's see here. I am going to read the old article real quick. I didn't really get another article, but let me see. More 20 years after one of the most gruesome hate crimes in recent U.S. history.
How far was he drugged? 3 miles? 4 or 5 miles?
No, it's 3 miles in the first
But
two.
he was still alive for the first two. Can you imagine being drugged behind a truck?
So you're just not gonna let me read the story?
Sorry.
And then you be the first one to lose your thought. Can you get the article first, and so
Go
you
ahead.
can create your thoughts? So
Go ahead.
you
Go
know,
ahead.
we want you to stay in your vein. So what happens is it says one of the most gruesome hate crimes in recent U.S. history. This is according to CBSDFW.com. James William King, a white avowed racist, was put on death row. Jesus Christ. For chaining James Byrd Jr. to the back of a pickup truck, dragging his body for nearly 3 miles. It also says here that he also, while they were dragging him after the first 2 miles, that they beat him with a sack of potatoes until his arm came off. So that's the G-rated version that I just given you. But I just have to be straight up with that. I just want to say real quick, first of all, to the Byrd family, again, we're still praying for you. And also, we want to let you guys know that we are with you. I do know that Mo, did you get any response back from the foundation? We did reach out to the foundation. Did you get any response back at all?
They will contact us later, but of course, because of the execution, they were quite busy with a lot of news requests and interviews and things, and they have a lot of they're going to a lot of different functions because it's the 3 children.
Right. And so we're praying for them. This is like I said, I agree, Miss Sunshine. This is too long in the making. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. I said what I said on the phone, but I mean it. And I went, life for life. If you take a life, you should be put to death
In the manner
in which you took the life. They should have took him, and they should have tied his ass up on the back of a pickup truck on one of them back, dirty, coal red streets of Huntsville with a lot of rocks on it.
Gravel road.
And drug him until he died. And had one of the other officers beat one of his arms with a a sack of potatoes until his arm fell off.
And even with that being said, as much as I would like to do that, being able to do it, I don't think there's another person with any conscience that would be able to fulfill that. Because anybody with any kind of conscience, to do that to a human being, to do that to any living being.
See, let me tell you, let me tell you, one thing that I do know that will cut out on a lot of murder in this country is if they start saying life for life. The manner that you kill is the manner you will be killed. I bet you that'll cut down.
Yep.
I bet you will.
First of all,
I'm telling you, will, Mom.
You got your Crips and your Bloods, right?
You got the Crips and the Bloods.
And they want to kill each other. Why don't they try to regulate?
Regulate who?
When this happened to James Byrd and they knew that they identified the 3 people, why didn't the Crips and the Bloods do so?
Because this was not in a major city, This was in a country town.
Called Jasper, Texas.
Small.
They can't fly, they can't drive the damn hoopies. Okay, what happened to Trayvon?
There's a prison in Jasper. There is a prison in Jasper. I've been there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow you.
Why don't they start like, instead of killing each other because they're wearing red or blue, why don't y'all kill people who are killing us?
Because like Sunshine said, it's paper over people.
And then you
Is
even
that
said
simple?
it. You even said it yourself. You know. when
And
it
again,
comes-
Guava Island, the message is in there. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. Anytime you have that capitalist thinking, paper over people, that's America with 3 Ks.
Yep.
You know, and to me, it's sad, it's sickening. You know, and again, I thought that it took him too long to kill him, and he should have been killed the way he killed, and they drugged that man. You didn't know nothing about James Byrd up until that day. You know, you heard he was a family man, he was a hard-working man, all this kind of stuff. But his life was taken from him unjustly in a way because of his color. And to me, and you know, I think I was reading something where it says that that's at the beginning where America started outlawing hate crimes at that point. After 1998, I believe, is the year that he was drugged. Am I right?
Yes.
It's 98.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so,
they didn't do it till 2009.
2009.
Because
10 years later,
him and
right.
Matthew Shepard. Remember the gay
Right.
guy in Laramie, Wyoming?
Right.
So it's the
right.
Matthew Shepard and James Byrd.
There are so many laws that are still on the books today that have no business being on the books. But, you know, is anybody taking the time to really kind of clear that out? No.
You know, let me say this. Me and my little nephew, you know, is it break time?
No, it's 11:40.
Is it 11:40?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me keep going then. I guess I keep it moving. The show is gone off my phone.
Okay.
I don't know what we on? Oh, I got it right here. Now, where we are at this point, let's move on with the show. 13-year-old dies after a fight at her middle school in Houston, Texas.
Yeah. So this is a young
Am I
girl.
wrong to feel like those children need to be charged?
They need to be charged as adults. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me now. See, the world to me is so different. When we had a fight, Miss Chong, it was 1-on-1. Your friends was on the side of you just in case somebody jumped in the fight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
They
So-
didn't jump in all
Now-
on one.
Now everybody got to jump one person. You know, and then to me, middle school. We fought in middle school. There was some good drag out fights in middle school. But it was always 1-on-1. It wasn't like, oh man, they whooped your behind. It was like, man, such and such whooped your butt. You know, it was like that. And so I'm not saying fighting is a right thing or whatever. But the only thing that I will say to that situation is that, you know, we really need to really focus on restructuring how our schools are managed and how these children are managed. Now, an old school me will say they should bring back corporal punishment.
Absolutely.
That's an old school me will say that because they need to be, somebody need to put some lists across their behinds, to me. However, parents nowadays, especially in our decade of growing up, you know, they say, no, don't put your hands on my kids.
It's wrong, it's bad, don't do
I
that.
think there's a
child
time.
abuse.
There's a time and a place for it. There is an escalation level of discipline that has to be put in place.
Yeah,
Whooping and corporal punishment should not be the first go-to.
absolutely. That I agree with.
Now, I can understand where.
And there's a big difference between whooping, spanking, and beating your child.
Right. So, to me, it should be an escalation level. Now, I understand as kids are younger, some people say, you know, I used to joke with my friends telling them that timeout doesn't work. Actually, timeout does work for some children.
For some children.
It does
Not
work.
all.
Not all.
Just
but
like-
it's like this. You have to have you have to be well-rounded in your discipline for your children.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when I just knew my parents was going to beat the dog snot out of me.
That was enough.
Right. That was enough. It was like, uh-oh, I done messed up. Damn it, why did I do that? But it was having that well-rounded understanding is they can use this, you know, plethora of different punishments for you, and you just never knew what card was coming out.
Right.
And that's where you have to make sure that your child understands, and you as a parent have to understand that too. You have to have a well-rounded way of disciplining your children. And that's just, again, my thought process, because not for everything do you deserve a beatdown.
Absolutely.
You don't, but it should be an escalation level and it should be well rounded. But with this little girl, I'm sorry. Like you said, we had fights in middle school. I only had like 2 fights when I was at the K. And
Yeah.
I think, well, I say that, but 2 fights where it was one-on-one. Then it was, we had those fights where it was a football team versus a game.
Right.
But our football coach always told, if one of y'all fighting,
All
all
y'all
y'all
fighting.
better be fighting.
That's right.
Because the football team outnumbers any game at this school.
Mm-hmm.
Greatly outnumbers any game. So if one of y'all, and nobody messed with the football team.
Yeah.
Every now and then we would go up against another school, when people would come to the school and then they would vandalize the school and we caught them in the act. Oh, they got their ass beat.
And then it was the same thing for band.
Yeah.
If you see one of your band brothers, your band sisters being messed with, the first thing you better do is find the next couple of band kids, and then another one better be on the way to the band room
Yeah.
to go get the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because it was many of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same thing. Nobody fights fair no more. And I know that that's a horrible thing to say, but nobody fights fair. Nobody does that. Let's move on real quick. We got one more little topic. Mo, I'm going to let you take this one off. Principal in Houston says no more do-rags, no more curlers,
Amen.
and etc. for the parents. Mo, what you say about that, Mo?
So
What
for
you
the
got?
last 24 to 48 hours, I have been fighting with Larry McKenzie out of Houston, Texas,
Larry McKenzie out of Houston, Texas.
who has run for the Houston School Board on several occasions. And he is telling me that I am wrong. Because I'm saying,
Because you feel like they need to come up to the school looking respectful?
right. And he's saying,
I hope you don't get
he had the
it.
nerve.
Wait a minute,
I
what?
got to, yes, I
This
got
is somebody ran for what now?
Houston School Board, Independent School District Board.
HISD?
Yeah, Larry McKenzie.
Mm.
Rho Theta.
Wow.
Rho Theta.
Rho Theta, Larry McKenzie. So he's telling me that I'm wrong, that why are we worried about how somebody dressing? Why weren't y'all worried about the 79 schools that closed in Houston? And I said, well, why don't y'all worry about the people getting married to the baby mama so they have a real family and so they could build wealth? And then he was like, well, people aren't living in the inner city. I said, because it's cheaper to live outside the inner city. And then so we're going back and forth, and nothing had to do about this woman looking like shit on a stick, going to her child. First of all, she unenrolled her child from one school dressed like a hoe in a handbasket.
A hole in a handbag.
Then she went to another school, and it was like, no, ma'am, press hand. That's not how we go here. My problem with that is that her nails were done.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair was being rolled to go somewhere. So she thought her child's school was not important to take the rollers out. She had to keep her hair rolled because wherever she was going was much more important than her
Right.
child's school. And what really pissed me off is that she's the one that called the media.
Mm.
She called the media.
She called the media.
Really?
How else would they have known,
And
baby?
you know what? Here's the funny part.
What?
This is what trips me out about this, because this was a black woman at a black school that was head up by another black woman.
Yep, the principal is black, and she had the nerve to say that it was because she was black. And they were like, you do know the principal is black, right?
Right.
But that's what happens when you unenroll your child from one school, unenroll to another, and don't know nothing about the school.
Right.
Right.
So this is my thing. Now today is April, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She did that, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes. There was some-
Who in the hell, with less than 24 days left in the school year, unenrolls from one school and enrolls to another, and you still in the same damn city?
Hello.
Right.
What the hell have you done?
You've messed your child up.
You think the grades are going to transfer? They might not even have the same classes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
It's
doing?
sad.
No,
It's sad.
but you know what? If you saw her at the hole in the wall, or you saw her at Papa Do's on 610, her ass will be dressed. But she
Right.
can't be dressed to do that. And see, it bothers me when people want to say, well, you don't understand a single parent. When the fuck did a single parent have license to do whatever the fuck you want to do? Why is that the catch-all phrase? Well, people used to call the cable company and say, but I'm a single parent. Bitch, then don't watch cable.
Here's
Right.
the thing.
That wasn't an extension. I'm
You
a
gotta
single
make some
parent.
No,
sacrifices.
you-
And those sacrifices might be your nails. It may be that pedicure. It may be
I
getting
haven't
your
had my
hair
nails
done.
done since Jesus was Moses was going down the Nile. Because when you got Clorox and you got Pine Sol and you got to make sure the house is clean for
Your
that child or
nails be
children,
breaking.
your nails got break. You don't do the nails, and people like, oh, you need your cuticles, bitch. I need my child safe and from harm.
Right.
That's what I need.
And my thing is,
Ugh.
as a
You
parent,
got me all hot.
you have to set the example for your
Right.
child.
I
So
agree.
if your child has a dress code at their school, which I'm pretty sure they do,
Yeah.
why is it not pressed upon you that you also follow those same rules?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there are some
Absolutely.
instances where do as I say, not as I do not apply.
Mm-hmm.
And showing a little self-love for yourself. I mean,
No, it wasn't
You know, if
self-love. You know what it was? It wasn't lack of self-love because she had her nails
laziness.
done.
I know it was just
It was
laziness.
like she didn't give a
but
damn about her child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what
too.
she. And see, she got self-love because she's like, oh, okay, ain't nobody gonna see me. Ain't none of my friends gonna be here in this high school.
But
Mhm.
but see, I guess this too. I feel like, you know, as I put my children out into the world, my children are a reflection of me. So am I when I go out into the world with my children.
Right.
Next week, when we come back next week, because we want to use this time to close the show, and get our encouragement thoughts. But check this out. On next week, I want us to talk about is the phrase "single parent" an unnecessary mantra?
I think it needs
I
to
think
stop
it-
being an excuse.
Yeah.
I, you know, don't get me wrong. My mother's a single parent,
Mhm.
so I don't take away from people being single parents, but I think that it is overused and I think it's over excused.
I think it needs not to be an excuse.
I because my thing
My
is look,
my single
you-
parent excuse was this is why we can't take a vacation.
right. This is the reason why we got XYZ because this is what we got
But
here.
you know
at the
what?
house.
You got
right.
food, you got clothes, you got shelter.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh yeah. So I want to talk about that real quick. Thank you so much for watching the show and listening to us on the After Party Radio Side B. Again, our prayers are continuous with our people out there in France. Bonsoir. We love you guys. Make sure, huh?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
And Sri Lanka and Sri
Yeah.
Lanka. Did I say that right?
No, Sri Lanka.
No, Sri
yeah.
Lanka.
Okay.
They had the
Easter
terroristic bombings on Easter.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
of course France, the loss of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But they are looking to rebuild within what,
Next 5 years.
next 5 years.
No, that's fast. That'll be good for them. I saw that a lot of the pieces and artifacts were able to be restored.
I
So
know, that was a
that was
blessing.
more of a blessing. I'm so glad. Listen, make sure you check us out right here on Facebook Live and in the After Party Radio at 10 o'clock in the morning Central Standard Time next Saturday. Real quick, as we will end our own show. I mean, always end our shows. We give you guys some encouraging words to go ahead and take home with you for the week. Miss Sunshine, I'm gonna start with you. What do you have to encourage everybody with on today?
Time management. We always say we don't have time for, I'll get around to it, I'll do this. In the words of Zig Ziglar, you know, you always say you don't have a round to it, cut out a round piece of paper and write to it on it, and there's your round to it. Manage your time, because there's always time, but it's the management of that time and how you put it forth that is the problem.
I like that, Miss Sunshine. That's what's up. That's
Right.
good. You've been listening and reading.
Trying. Say listen and read.
Pinterest, what you got, bro?
Look,
She
Yeah,
on my
this-
documentaries and stuff I need to be watching.
this gonna be a little raw, and
This-
I'm probably sure some people gonna look at me sideways.
Y'all put on an ear condom. It's
Yeah.
gonna get raw.
Yeah, it's gonna get raw.
Eric,
Yeah, yeah, ear condom. Money is just like fucking. If you grind hard enough, that shit keep coming. I know that's a little raw. Y'all wasn't expecting that from me. However, it fits. So keep grinding.
Well,
Keep grinding for your money. That shit gonna keep coming.
well, you know what? I did say put on the ear condom. I did say that. Mo, what you got?
You were warned.
What you got, Mo?
I forewarned you.
After that, nothing.
Nothing, Mo?
Nothing.
Hey.
Wow.
I just don't understand sometimes, and this is one of the times.
Okay.
Is it not true though?
I have 3 jobs, so I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't
So
have said
you
it that
doing
way.
a whole lot of work sex, huh?
Hey.
And Q, what were you gonna say?
Well, first of all, I want to say it's so good to see y'all again in the studio. I missed y'all last couple of weeks. I hope life has been wonderful for each and one of y'all. I want to say this real quick. It's okay to be there for people, but stop trying to press your beliefs upon people. I think that a lot, especially when it comes to religious affiliations, you know, if you want to say church or whatever, I think that people should be and have the right to believe in God the way that not only are they comfortable, but in the way that is allowing them to grow. And believe in what people are telling you. If I tell you that this is what I am doing, trust in me that I know what I am doing with my own life and my own experiences. And we shouldn't be judging people only based on our experience. What we should do is give them some assistance based on our experience and then let them live out their own.
Because one size does not fit all.
One size does not fit all.
That's exactly why they make Magnums.
Oh, Jesus.
I am so confused.
So yeah, so you know, it's okay if a situation happens in your life and it's similar to someone else, or maybe even with the same people that are involved in a situation that maybe your experience is different with, it's okay to get the experience from the person that had that dealing or the dealings with those people, but trust and believe in what the assignment and task is for someone else's experience. And so that's what you do. You know, allow people to learn their own way and allow people to find their own way so they can have a great way of surviving on their own. And that's all I have. We have 4 minutes left. And listen again, join us. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube at Mash the Gas. Make sure you guys follow us. We do appreciate you guys. And when Shucky Ducky came through, you guys showed a whole lot of love to him. So thank you so much for all of that. Miss Charm, our favorite engineer, is in the building.
Yay!
Miss Charm is in the building. I don't know how long she's here for, but it's so good to see you, Miss Charm.
Your
It's
beautiful smile. Yes,
We
yes.
love you
We
too,
love you
Miss
too.
Charm. We love you too. And so again, you know, make sure the after party live. May the 4th be with you right at the Brick House Lounge at 2525 East Arkansas Lane, Arlington, Texas, 76010 at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And so next Saturday, you're going to catch us right here, and then we're going to leave from here, and we're going to go head on out to Arlington so we can get ready for the live. Were you going to be at the live, Miss Charm? You don't know?
You don't know?
Well, it'll be good to see you if you're there. My segment is how people hate on your come up. And so
A lot of people be hating.
just kind of ruin the surprise a little bit. I'm going to talk about professionally, financially, and personally. People be hating on your come up. You know, that's really ironic, and that's a lot of stuff that we've been experiencing these last couple of months.
But you know who don't hate you come up? Gina. She always encourages us.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Gina.
Miss Regina Clayton.
That's our girl.
And I'm going to tell you like this. If you want to shine like me, you got to grind like me.
You got to grind like me. That's
Are you
right.
going to talk about that sexual intercourse thing again?
No. You know what? Here's the thing, Mo. And I'll just be totally honest with you. Sometimes the best way to get something across to a person is to come down on a level where they can understand.
Right.
So
and that's why sometimes it's important to cuss.
Yes. I have no issue talking intellectually. However, one of the things that I've learned throughout my life experiences is that everybody doesn't process information the same way.
Nope.
So if I know something as an expert, and if I am an expert, I should be able to explain it to them in a way that they grasp it. Otherwise, I'm not an expert.
Amen.
I agree.
So,
Absolutely.
with that being said,
we'll see you guys on next week again. We appreciate that shit again. Mash Gas Talk Radio
What's our
Show.
closeout song?
And what is our closeout song?
Oh, well.
What is our closeout song?
Hold on. Yeah, let me.
Is it Crown Royal by Jill Scott?
Ooh, really?
Yes,
I think
Crown
it is.
Royal.
Crown Royal by Jill
Jill
Scott.
Scott.
You know, and we will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out and many blessings to you. See you in a minute. Oh, that's my song. Facebook, thank you so much for watching. Make sure, and YouTube, well, YouTube gone.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
YouTube, we'll get you up. Sorry, YouTube, I tried, but.